Good day everyone and good day to you sir. So, my name is Ahlam S. Muhammad and I am one of the members of Group 3. So, our lesson for today that we will tackle about this video is all about taking the pulse rate. So this lesson introduces you to the word of pulse rating. You will learn how to locate your pulse rate and how to count and compute your pulse rate. You will also learn how to determine your capacity in exercising through the result of your pulse rate and transmuting it into the table of fitness exercise capacity.
To know where and how to take your pulse rate is a necessity. Yes, taking your pulse rate is crucial as it helps monitor your heart's efficiency during physical activities. And it's recommended to check your heart rate before, during, and after exercising to gauge how well your heart and lungs are handling the workout load. So now, it is important to distinguish between blood pressure, heart rate, and pulse rate. Because this way, you can keep track of your cardiovascular health and adjust your workout routine as necessary.
Blood pressure is the force of blood against the wall of the arteries and veins created by the heart that is pumps blood to the every parts of the body. As a sphygmomanometer and stethoscope are needed to take blood pressure. So, blood pressure is essentially the force of exerted by circulating blood on the walls of the blood vessels. It is the one of principal vital sign. So, when the heart beats, it pumps blood into the arteries, creating pressure on the artery walls. This pressure is what's known as your systolic blood pressure. It's the higher of the two numbers in blood pressure reading. So in the between beats, when the heartbeat is at rest, it's refilling with blood. The pressure during this period of the rest is called diastolic blood pressure, and it's the lower number in a blood pressure reading. A sphygmomanometer is the tool that doctors use to measure this pressure. It is an implantable part called a cup that they wrap around your arm. When it's planted, the cup gets tight and momentarily stops the blood flow. So the cup is implanted to constrict the artery. The doctor then slowly releases the air while they're listening with the stethoscope. The first sound they hear is systolic blood pressure. It sounds like washing noise. The point when the sound disappeared is considered the diastolic pressure. So the stethoscope is another tool doctor use to the listening to what's happening inside your body. When measuring blood pressure, they listen to the blood moving through to the artery in your arm. So the doctor slowly lets air out of the cup. They listening for when the blood start flowing again and when it's flowing freely without any interruption. These 2 points give into the numbers you get blood pressure reading.
Heart rate or heartbeat. This is the number of times that the heart contracts per minute. The heart rate can be taken through oscillation with the use of the stethoscope, EKG recording, and palpitation technique. So meaning, the heart rate is refers to the time of your heartbeat per minute. However, the heartbeat refers to the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of your heart muscle, and that pumps blood throughout the body. So above all, each heartbeat corresponds to one cycle of contraction and relaxation. It's resulting circular of blood. So the heart rate is a measure of how fast your heart beat. However, while the heartbeat, it is the actual action of the heart contracting and relaxing.
So, ano nga ba itong pulse rate na ito? So, ang pulse rate is the regular, rigorous heartbeat caused by the expansion of arteries on the surface of the skin as the heart contracts, sending spurt of blood along arteries. So, ang pulse rate natin ay makukonsider na isa rin siyang heartbeat na nagmumula sa ugat natin because of our blood pump, right? So, this push of blood through the blood vessels with each heartbeat creates your pulse. So, this is sometimes visible and can be felt on several areas of the body. You can feel it on your temple, sa lieg, wrist, groin, and etc.
The heart rate or pulse rate can be obtained using the palpitation technique with index finger and the middle finger. The pulse is felt best during rest using the radial artery found on the wrist. During exercise, the carotid artery found near the throat is best because it is bigger than the radial. It can be counted in 30 seconds multiplied by 2 for each beats per minute. How do we know if the heart rate is efficient in performing prolonged activities? After learning the process of taking the pulse and determining the resting heart rate or RHR, now we will try to check how fast our heart beats after work. So first, we will do simple movements like marching, jogging, and jumping jacks. Then we will take our heart rate after each movement and compare the difference between each. So, here we will determine the working heart rate or WHR.
For an exercise to give you the most benefit, the simplest way is to determine your target heart rate or THR. Simply subtract your age from 220 and multiply it by 0.70 to get the minimum range. Then multiply it by 0.85 for you to get the maximum range. For example, 220 is a constant or it's fixed. 220 minus 17 is your age, for example, is equal to 203 and then multiply it into 0.70 or 70% to get your minimum rate. So the result is 142. 220 minus 17 is equal to 203 and then multiply it into 0.85 or 85% to get your maximum rate. So the result is 172. So, your training range of 142 to 172 beats per minute is the ideal heart rate zone for your workouts. Starting at a normal pace, gradually increase the intensity within this range. This approach ensures you to receive the maximum benefit from your workout, and it helps improve your cardiovascular health and overall fitness. Remember to warm up and cool down properly. And if you have any health concerns, consult a healthcare professional.
Let us proceed for moderate intensity of physical activity. Your target heart rate you should be between 64% to 76% of your maximum heart rate. You can estimate our maximum age is related to the heart rate. Subtract your age from 20, meaning to say, in a moderate, only the maximum target of heart rate is to 64 to 76%. And to get the BPM of beats per minute, 220 subtract from your age. Example, 15 years old person, yung 220, imaminus mo siya sa 50 years is equal to 117 beats per minute. Para makuha yung result ng moderate during their physical activity, yung 170, i-multiply mo siya sa heart rate. Yung resulta ng heart rate mo, which is the 64%. 170 times 0.64% is equal to 109. These are the result of during their physical activities. This example that shows that moderate intensity of physical activity is only required to the 15 years old person. It's been reminded that the 109 is the ppm of the person during their physical activities.
First, what is vigorous intensity physical activity? Vigorous activities require the highest amount of oxygen consumption to complete the activity. Examples of vigorous physical activities include running faster than 5 miles per hour, swimming, shoveling, soccer, jumping rope, and carrying heavy loads, for example, bricks. To figure out what is your maximum BPM in vigorous intensity or your pulse rate at work, first you need to get the number of your heartbeat per minute. To calculate it, you have to subtract your age to 220. For example, 220 minus 35 is equal to 185. Then, para makuha ang minimum BPM is you need to multiply the 185 to 0.77. And para makuha ang maximum BPM mo, you have to multiply the 185 to 0.93.